There was a lot of interest at the last update about some intersection of social media law and employment law issues. So I thought I'd just hit a few interesting spots that have come up in the last year. So there was some questions about to what degree should we attempt to control our employees' social media use? And the answer at that time was, well, you shouldn't really treat it as any different aspect than other extensions of job functions. So the idea here, though, is the reality of business in 2018 is you have to go where your customers are and you have to be authentic. They want to engage with you on new platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and they're going to talk about what they want to talk about on those platforms. So you kind of have to let your customers and to some extent employees be authentic in those spaces. The question is, what's the best strategy to respond? So it can be a little different in your thinking than it used to be. It's not a world that is so much subject to the ability to command and control what other people do. Like the instinct when somebody says something negative about your business is to react by saying, well, I'm innocent, I didn't do that, I have to clear my name, I'm gonna call my lawyer and fix this and get rid of this and get it taken back. It's not that easy because there's so many laws in California and there's such strong case law protecting freedom of speech that it does take a little bit of finesse. And so when I get a question on that topic, I listen and I empathize and I get it, but really the question is not what can I do as a lawyer to get rid of it? The question is, let's accept that this is out there and what's the most strategic response for your business? And often it's really not so much a legal strategy, it's just sort of a social media strategy, which is look at the terms of use, look at the content of what the review is saying. Is it actually an appropriate review of a business, service, or good that this an actual customer experience at the location? And often it's not. It's a gripe from an ex-employee. It's just somebody who saw something about your business in the news or doesn't like something that the managers do, has some personal beef with management. And Yelp is actually really good about taking these kinds of reviews offline without any legal action at all. So let's go to the next slide. Where's this? So, you know, we had a case study where there were some negative reviews and all kinds of people were getting involved and they wanted to, you know, sort of state their side of the case, how they felt about it, but it had nothing to do with being an actual customer of the business. So there's a little flag by the reviews on the review site. And if you find it, you could check the box and alert Yelp and say, look, you know, this really isn't about an experience a customer had. This is about something else. And I thought Yelp's response was very, very sophisticated. So I hit a few of those flags because I'm a user of Yelp. So I can go on and say, like, you know, this doesn't help me. You know, I get it. Somebody wants to say something. So after I hit a couple of the flags, I immediately got a service ticket. Yelp is going to look into it. And within a day, I had gotten emails saying, you're right, this review doesn't fit our guidelines and we've taken it down. And then I went to visit the business's website and I saw this, active cleanup alert. And it's so smart because if somebody is coming to that business's Yelp page to say something, it's just Yelp responding to their users saying, you know what, we've had a lot of activity there. And just so you know, we're on active cleanup. So if this is not part of the reviewer's personal consumer experience, we're going to take it down. But what was so smart about this is it also directs the person to go to another place where they can have thoughts. So I just thought this was genius because it's not susceptible to criticism that Yelp is trying to censor anyone, because that's always the online internet complaint, like, I can state my opinion, you know, don't censor me, I need to. Yelp is saying it's fine to have these conversations, just have it in this other more appropriate space and keep this a usable spot. So I guess that is one thing that's new that we've seen lately. Another issue that has come up in my practice is the polar opposite of this. A situation where it's just a horrible, like scathing, defamatory review from somebody who is just accusing you of things, and it's just enough to get under the policy of the website. In an extreme case, it may be time to consult an attorney. That's the kind of situation that I get involved in, when there's actual like false statements of fact that in no way could be an opinion. Like someone has just said flat out that something occurred that you can demonstrate never occurred, and it's damaging your business. That's pretty much a point where I would add value. I mean, along the spectrum, if you're not sure, but the point is you have to be very careful how you respond online to customers, because you can get into a snowball effect where if you don't own the fact that people want to talk about your business, they're just going to pile on more and more, and that can turn it into a news event. So that's all I wanted to say about how to respond to Yelp reviews. If it's a customer complaining about, yes?
Is there potential for a civil suit for defamation?
Oh yeah, I've won them. I mean, I've won trials on an expedited basis that was ultimately necessary because the reviews were demonstrably false, statements of fact, and they were just killing my client's business. And the only way to really, truly ever clean it up is you have to get a judgment saying it's defamatory. I always tell people, you're not going to get rich. The people who have time to like go and complain about you online are not going to pay a judgment. The investment is to protect your business's reputation and clean up the online SEO results. So I have had to do that, and I've done it successfully, and it was well worth the money. So then, I guess I just wanted to make one final point about social media when thinking about employees, because that's kind of the theme of today's presentation, which is just be aware that the courts are pretty up to speed on social media. I mean, the people who write the opinions and write the decisions are law students and people who are fresh out of school who are users of this media, and they're going to just treat it like any other kind of speech or writing and just apply the laws to those mediums. And that's just to say that don't expect that there's going to be some different treatment for information on the internet. So if you are in litigation and you have discovery, you're not going to have any greater right of privacy. If there's a document request for your Facebook messages or saving your online profiles, if somebody really needs to get it and it's really relevant to something that happened, then you're going to have to save it and you're going to have to produce it. So just be mindful of that in everything that you do. I mean, I always tell people, don't write any Facebook messages or tweets that you wouldn't want to see on the front page of the Los Angeles Times, because in an extreme case, that is a potential outcome. As far as employees, I had kind of an interesting case study where I'm not going to say who it was, but a potential client came for a consultation saying, hey, you know, I'm just trying to do my job, and it happened to be in the restaurant industry. And I was in public, and you know, someone kind of took my video and framed me in a humorous way, and like it was a viral video kind of making fun of me, and the person really didn't know what to do. So I would say try to partner with your employees in this thinking about social media. And on the one hand, you want to remind them that they're an ambassador of your business in whatever they do, but also you have to back them up too and listen to them and work with them to find a solution. If they're just out there trying to do their job and they kind of fall into this like strange, interesting new situation where it's like, you know, I don't want to get in trouble to be rude, but I also didn't sign up to become the next viral, you know, humorous video. You know, you can consult on that, and there's a lot of new and interesting issues that are raised by this new world. So, so just keep that in mind.